So I'm Luis Rodriguez. I'm from here at U of I. I'm the current PI of a new project from the NSF Infews program called the Infews-er. It is a virtual resource center designed to create a new graduate education experience, something that we're intending will help complete a little bit of graduate training, particularly targeting transdisciplinary research. So let me give you a little perspective on how this will occur. We're very eager to engage many of you. This is an opportunity for you to engage and hopefully, I think, find a new community to network with in order to grow into a number of different areas. And we can help support all that effort. So imagine, many of you I know are going to be aware of the NSF Infews project. It's fairly substantial, should be around for a little while. I think a lot of you are pretty excited about it. The way the NSF has engaged us was really to become this sort of networking hub. So we are targeting, we have a charge to really support those projects specifically. So imagining those food, energy, water projects, they have students. In fact, they have many students probably within each individual of those projects. We're going to try to target those cohort groups of students, okay? By group. And there's a reason why. They should hopefully come through our virtual resource center, pick up some additional skills. Of course, they're coming from some excellent training in your own programs. They are studying in disciplines, but we're really trying to get them to help them to become transdisciplinary researchers. Of course, there's many of those food, energy, water projects, so they all have student cohort groups of their own. That's where the networking starts to occur, okay? That's where the networking starts to occur. Just to simplify the diagram, we'll move those aside for a little while and recognize that there's loads of other related, similar projects, of course. Smaller in scale, perhaps, fewer students. We can actively join those up. The colors now, mind you, they're meant to represent that we're coming from a number of different disciplines here. Food, energy, and water. Those are not disciplines by themselves, right? Those are not disciplines. In fact, many of those connote many disciplines within each. So it is now intended that those colors are to represent many different types of individuals coming through the Virtual Resource Center and coming out as transdisciplinary scientists. In fact, really making some research outcomes that are hopefully new and unique in nature, okay? Keep this superstructure in mind for a little while. So what's multidisciplinary or transdisciplinary or interdisciplinary research? Actually, I know you had a breakout group on this topic yesterday. I'm sorry I couldn't join you myself. I'm just returning from travel. Some of you told me I was returning from travel. I was a little surprised when that happened. This structure here, many disciplines targeting an issue, I would probably call this, or try to simplify this, this is maybe cross-disciplinary research. We all have our own techniques. We're all experts in our own techniques. We're training people to become so. We can all attack a different problem, have some outcomes. We can all have conversations. Sometimes the conversations are a little strained. This should represent something that's a little bit more cross-disciplinary. Maybe we're working together, in fact, actively trying to communicate with one another. That's one skill in and of itself, to try to cross those disciplines. We could attack an issue together. Maybe this is still not yet transdisciplinary. I think transdisciplinary comes when we try to remove the shackles of of really those silos we've talked about numerous times in order to create new theory, new data, forms of data, forms of information, methods to go and answer questions that really haven't been answered. We shouldn't, in that idealized world, there's really good reasons why disciplines exist, why departments exist. But if we're really trying to push the envelope forward, we need to be working in these other spaces, and that's why this environment becomes important, okay? So that's where the transdisciplinary stuff should be, when that is really and truly new. Really and truly new. I learned a new term recently from the NSFPI workshop, convergent research. I was told 8 minutes, by the way. Convergent research. Convergent research where maybe we find ourselves in these situations. What's the key payoff for you? What's the key payoff? High impact research, of course. We're all interested in this, but even targeting the higher profile journals. We're going to be offering certification, funding, support, fellowships for students, for faculty as well, and of course a new networking community. This is a table from our original proposal. What I want to emphasize for you now that there's several levels that need to be achieved in order to really get to the bottom level of those transdisciplinary skills, okay? Hopefully we're augmenting through our programs here in order to cause that to happen. We've spent a fair bit of time actually trying to help define this. This is from our original proposal. We've had some meetings since that time. How do folks go through this research center? Well, we had a kickoff meeting a couple weeks ago in order to try to get this off the ground. The result of that kickoff meeting, and I'm hoping this community here will be receptive, is to actually create some opportunities for folks to participate, some requests for participation. First for students to become graduate fellows, not just cohorts, but fellows, but also for faculty to create some learning experiences. Our group, we actually do have a number of different collaborators from across the country. We want to not just be those that are going to be responsible for creating those experiences. We want to reach out to you to help us create those experiences. And particularly in that data space. The data space is a particularly important skill. We will be hosting symposia, where all those individuals can come and participate. And this is the hub. This is where the hub of collaboration could exist. Okay? In fact, we're hoping some of those fellows will repeatedly participate in these events and create learning experiences of their own. Those cohorts themselves, those are going to be the best transdisciplinary scientists if we take this perspective. And they're the ones that are going to be creating those experiences, right? So we'll support them as well and call them the future faculty team fellows, okay? Now, that being said, you're here at this stage. The kickoff meeting just occurred a little while. I got my minute. And the RFP is coming your way. You're almost at the ground floor. This is the best time to get involved, okay? So that being said, there's loads of other folks, and it's already quite a wide array of individuals participating in this area. So hopefully we can reach out to have you become part of the team as well. So thanks. Do I still get my question?
Yeah, I think one question while we have whoever's next set up.
I have a dumb question that you mentioned like transdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, and multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary. So are they different or are they all the same?
So I think there are some fundamental differences, and I can point you to some reading if you're really, really interested in knowing more about some of those differences. But I think at its core, let's not worry about whether you're a scientist, whether you're an engineer, whether you're something else. If we're really just trying to help sustainability, particularly in these domains of food, energy, and water, there's loads of ways to do it. And I think some of these team-based, cohort-based skills will probably be a good key towards achieving some of those.